The other day we were riding around in the woods and we found this.
Where is it and why? Well, that's what we're about to find out. We were driving around the Buchanan State Forest and came across signs, historical markers, right?
Yeah.
Being the explorers that we are, we followed them and found a pyramid.
A pyramid.
In the middle of the woods.
In the middle of Pennsylvania.
Of course, now we're super curious, so we hopped out of the car, cameras in hand, and went in. Turns out, this is the birthplace of James Buchanan.
Who?
James Buchanan, you know, the 15th president of the United States.
Buchanan. Okay, well. Yeah, him. I really have no idea who you're talking about. Still nothing.
Okay, let me see if this helps. He was the only president to be from Pennsylvania.
That's all we could come up with?
Only president from Pennsylvania. Still nothing?
Still nothing.
Oh. Well, let me see. He was also the guy that was the president right before the Civil War.
Abraham Lincoln.
No, he was during the Civil War. This is the guy that led up to it.
Oh, okay.
I'd say he lost to Lincoln, but he didn't truly lose to Lincoln because he didn't run again.
Right.
But Lincoln took his place.
Okay.
And he left him with quite the mess.
He
yes,
did.
In fact, some historians even kind of credit Buchanan's lack of leadership to the Civil War.
Really?
Saying that if he would have been a little better leader, we wouldn't have gotten there quite so quickly. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just telling you.
Wow. I was unaware that you were such a history buff.
Hidden talents, baby. Hidden talents.
Great. So why a pyramid? Why not like a monolith like for George Washington? Or how about a sign?
Probably deserved a sign. I mean, you know, you don't make a monolith to the guy that made the Civil War. But regardless. So here's the thing. Why not just a sign? Well, remember I said he was the only president from Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
He's also got a couple other onlys.
Yeah. I bet he does.
Well, for instance, he was the only president to never marry.
To never marry.
Bachelor, through and through.
Hard to get.
Maybe. So, he needed a first lady.
Okay.
So, he asked his niece, Harriett.
She was probably the nice niece.
Maybe she was the nice niece. I don't know. So anyway, Harriet really thought that her uncle was a really awesome guy because he was president and he took her places like England. And so when he died, Harriet wanted to make certain that he had some sort of memorial to commemorate his presidency.
Right, but I mean, he wasn't like Pharaoh, so why a pyramid?
We're getting to that.
Okay.
But first, if you've gotten this far in the video, thank you. Please leave a comment below. Let us know where else you would like to see us visit. See if we can find anything else really fun and cool. Leave a comment because that really helps our channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. We truly appreciate you giving us a look. Thanks, guys. So, Harriet. Back to Harriet. Harriet believed that her uncle was to be the best president the country had ever seen, and she felt that he really got a bad rap from all the politicos out there at the time. So, upon her death, she left $100,000 in a trust to have a memorial created to President Buchanan.
$100,000? That's like so much money in today's money.
It's a lot of money and then's money. So she wanted this memorial to be put on his homestead birthplace, which is in Franklin County, and his parents, they called it Stony Batter after their homestead in Scotland.
Stony Batter sounds like
Stony
some really
Batter.
bad cake.
Well, it probably was a pretty bad cake. But she suggested in the trust, in her will, that a large boulder be placed in the site of where the homestead had once sat, commemorating the homestead and James Buchanan with some proper inscriptions, and then a natural area surrounding it, with picnic tables and stuff.
Proper fitting for America's first rock star.
Wow. So after reading her will, the few trustees were named.
Okay.
And then they set out to look for the proper boulder.
Hey, you got to be picky when it comes to a boulder.
Well, yeah. They hired an architect who had designed the entire area. And then World War I happened. So the whole project was put on hold.
Game off.
Yeah. So by the end of the war, there was only one trustee left.
All right.
And so he went back to that same architecture firm and said, we still need to make this because we've got like 15 days because she gave them 15 years to get this accomplished. And so they were like 15 days away from the end of that 15-year period. And so they're like, we got to do something. So this architect made a split-second decision, and suddenly we have a pyramid.
In the middle of Pennsylvania.
In the middle of the woods. So he did use American gray granite, which is some of the rocks that you will find in that area, and the pyramid was completed around 1911.
All right.
Turned over to the Pennsylvania State Legislature, who then renamed it. Now, this is an original one.
Buchanan's Pyramid?
Close.
Okay.
Buchanan's Birthplace State Park.
That's original.
You betcha.
That's original.
You betcha.
Wonder how much they paid the PR firm to come up with that. You said he had a couple of onlys.
I did. Well, this next thing really isn't an only, it's more of a first. And
All
it's
right.
actually kind of cool first. It happened during his presidency. So James Buchanan was the first president to ever receive a transatlantic telegram.
Oh.
Now, in 1858, that was kind of a big deal. So he actually received it on August 16th, 1858, while he was hanging out at his summer White House at Bedford Springs in Bedford County.
We just lived down the road or up the road from Bedford.
And so did he. His
Okay.
birthplace is only about 20 miles away.
Okay.
And he received this congratulatory message from Queen Victoria upon his winning the presidency.
Oh, Queen Vicky.
Vicky and Jimmy.
Vicky and Jimmy.
Little Jimmy. Today you can view the Queen's message in the lobby of the Omni Bedford Springs Resort in Bedford County. Yes, the place is still standing, and it's gorgeous. It really is. That's a whole different video,
nice.
But man, it's wonderful. And then speaking of Bedford County, a few years after Buchanan's Birthplace State Park was opened, the Pennsylvania State Legislature set aside over 60,000 acres in Bedford, Fulton, and Franklin counties as the Buchanan State Forest.
Wow.
So there's 2 state parks in the state forest.
Okay.
Buchanan's, and then another one called Cowan's Gap State Park where you can camp and fish and swim and have a good time.
It's very nice.
It is. And then there's over 100 miles of hiking trails. So I guess really, ultimately, Harriet's dream to commemorate her uncle came true.
Hooray for Stony Batter.
Stony Batter.
I kind of want a pyramid.
For what?
For me.
For what?
Like maybe we could build it out in the backyard next
what?
to that fire pit to commemorate me, a living memorial in my own lifetime. Yeah, or perhaps maybe like my own little baby Stonehenge. That would be cool.
That'd be Johnny Batter. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and be sure to hit that notification bell. And for even more fun tales, check out our other playlists at youtube.com/thefunchasers.